farmers of high tech. Let's return once again to Shimon Peres, a veteran kibbutznik, David Ben-Gurion's sidekick, prime minister, and Nobel Peace Prize winner. Notably, he was also the father of the Oslo Accords that had tried to bring a final end to the Arab-Israeli conflict. Beyond his political legacy, he's known as the founder of industries. Peres once observed that agriculture is more revolutionary than industry. A curious remark, given that the 21st century emphasizes high tech and science. But when you think about it, agriculture is 95% science, 5% work. And with a touch of scientific innovation, Israel managed to increase its agricultural yield 17 times in 25 years. Then there's the nuclear industry, actually Peres's idea. It had been written off by Israel's finance minister, the idea being that the focus of the country ought to be on textile exports. So Peres turned to students at the Technion. The result was the nuclear power plant at Dimona. Over time, Israel has become the 10th largest producer of nuclear patents. And Israel leads the world in percent of GDP devoted to research and development, much of which is linked to the nuclear industry. It's true that the founders of the country were socialist and frowned on profit. But now it seems there's a legitimate, even idealistic way to make money, namely by inventing something, not just for your pocketbook, but for humanity. There's an altruistic goal to think about, to become a falah, farmer in Arabic, of high tech. In fact, we could say that the new Zionism is about pioneering, namely creating things. In summary, we ought to ask, what makes Israel click? And to answer our own question, basically, it's a mashup of the founders' patriotism, drive, constant consciousness of scarcity and adversity, curiosity and restlessness, plus deep roots in Israeli and Jewish history. Maybe the greatest Jewish contribution to world civilization is summed up as dissatisfaction and change, both pretty important assets for building the future. It's been said that with every technology that comes to America from Israel, it goes to the army, and in 5 minutes they change it. The rule of thumb in Israel is tinker, invent, challenge. Such attitudes perhaps derived from the fact that Israel is basically the reincarnation of an ancient nation state. And that alone sets it apart from virtually any other nation on earth. But the central question remains, what makes Israel so innovative, so entrepreneurial? Well, it certainly has something to do with the proximity of great universities, large companies, startups, and a connecting ecosystem between them all. And with suppliers, an engineering talent pool, and of course venture capital, all linked together. And of course, the military. But let's not forget, there's a downside. A high turnover of startups is an ever-present reality. Still, Israelis have learned through experience that failure is part of the process. And let's not forget some additional characteristics of Israel. The country is basically a rich stew of aggressiveness, team orientation, isolation, and connectedness. It's about being small, but aiming big. In a university study of 53 countries, Israel was found to possess a unique combination of attributes. It's egalitarian, nurturing, yet it promotes individualism. It's both driven and flat. And its leadership is demonstrated by its battle cry, after me, after me. Think about that. Israel has in fact been called a leadership incubator. It's got everything you need to launch a startup if you have the right idea. In Israel's unique environment, cold calling is all right, but never fully cold, because everybody seems to know everybody. In Israeli society, launching a high-tech startup is perceived not as a crazy idea, but as quite normal. When all is said and done, it's okay to try and fail. What then is the secret of Israel's success? Well, it's a combination of things, of classic elements of technology clusters, along with Israeli elements enhancing the skills and experience of individuals, and of making them work together effectively as teams. And yes, providing tight connections in a growing community. The reality is, innovation is one resource that's renewable. Think about it. When we exchange ideas, each of us now has two ideas, right? Is it possible, here's another question, to simulate the Israeli environment? Well, actually, remember Dov Froman? He found out that he had to do it. He had to simulate the Israeli environment in Israel when he figured out that some important ingredients, even in Israel, were being lost. Let's recreate the Israeli environment inside Israel if we seem to be losing our way. And he did. The operative slogan in Israel is survival through success. And don't forget, motivation equals survival. It's nurtured by mandatory national service before college, promoting leadership, teamwork, mission-oriented skills, and experience. And in education, how about creating portable fellowships that could be taken to any institution, designed to meet the career needs of students, not just their own? How about nurturing meta ideas, such as patents and copyrights, to increase the spread of ideas? Israeli ingenuity has certainly pioneered whole new industries, including energy, water, biotechnology, and teaching devices to address the shortage of teachers. There are certainly some unique spin-offs deriving from Israel's homeland security industry. designed, of course, to defend against terrorism, such as Israel's many web wonders, since Israel boasts one of the most successful incubators of cyber military technology in the world. And then there's Israel's nanotechnology research. That's a wonder in itself. Just have a look at the Nano Bible project developed at the Technion Israel Institute of Technology in Haifa. And in the end, perhaps the most powerful thing we can say is that innovation is collaborative. And on that score, the world has much to learn from Israel.